Greetings. My name is Wade Channell, if you don't know me already. If you're sending me an email, that's 2 N's and 2 L's. You just have to pick those both up. I am really happy to almost be here. In fact, right now while you're listening to this, I'm in Papua New Guinea, where today it's already tomorrow. So I'm not exactly sure where things should be, but I'm glad that I could put together something for you. What I want to do is look at an ecosystem, what I call an ecosystem for growth. I would welcome new names to that, but I'm going to stick with that for now. Actually, it's an ecosystem with lots of subsystems, and I'm going to give you 6 of them quickly to sort of frame your thinking for the whole time. And actually, as you listen to people throughout the next 2 days, what I'd like to ask and suggest is write these 6 things down and see to what extent they're being addressed when you think through the problems. Many folks will just be focusing on one, and that's fine, that's the point. But in our analysis, are we really focusing widely enough? My experience is not always. So here goes. We have 6 areas. Value chain projects generally are quite adept at starting at the market. Who wants what does the market demand, and then working back to create the skills. But again, skills are not enough. Great marketers who can't overcome a barrier at the border, who can't overcome shakedown by local government officials, who can't overcome infrastructure problems, are not going to succeed and not become competitive. That's the ecosystem. Those are the 6 subsystems that I think we need to look at, because what I've found, and I think a lot of you have found the same frustration, you get into a project and you have something really well defined and it's a vibrant market. For example, Ethiopia in the 90s, there was work on corn production and corn productivity. The yields were increased incredibly, and then everyone went bankrupt who was involved because they couldn't sell it, they couldn't get it to the demand side of the equation. They had built and produced, and now you had a price collapse. Why? Nobody had looked at the policy issues, nobody had looked at the transport issues. Finance issues were okay, except that now you had bankruptcy because people had gotten the finance, but they couldn't get new finance to make it through the next cycle because they'd lost everything in the first one. It's not enough just to have good productivity enhancers. We have to look at the entire ecosystem. And often, too often, our projects are disconnected on the ecosystem concept. We'll have a policy project, and the policy project is working on, it could be on health policy, it could be on economic policy, macro policy, very important, we've got to get inflation right. And then we hit a policy constraint in the enabling environment. There's no way to bring it into the project that's working on policy. It's separate. And suddenly you've hit a roadblock again. You haven't been able to get where you want to go. What I'd like to recommend is that if we think through these 6 areas in every project we do, we will find the constraints. Sometimes the constraints will be bad enough that we'll say, just don't waste your time there. But other times it will help us just to determine that we better do it differently. If there's a transport problem, then maybe this isn't the time to work on highly perishable goods that can't get out of the port for 30 days when they'll rot. Maybe it's time to work on something else. It can help us to design or to work with other projects and even other donors. Often donors are working from European donors, World Bank, others may be working on another project in policy, and they really need the input that we're getting out of our value chain projects, but we don't have it. We can change that. We can put that into our projects. We can design our projects for collaboration, cooperation, for knowledge sharing, but we have to make those decisions. It doesn't just happen by itself. Anyway, I wish you good luck here. I will look forward to talking to some of you when I get back. And remember, when you're listening to others, think through, are they hitting these 6 areas? Have we covered enough? Because if we haven't, we might not be doing the right things. Thanks.